blush blindness goes crazy. Okay. Hi guys, it's Mia Quinn. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about book recommendations specifically based off movies or TV shows. I'm going to be recommending 15 today. And if you're wondering why it looks like there's like way more than 15, it's because some of them are series, but it's like 15 titles. Reading is really hard to get into when you have no idea what you're looking for. And so if you like a movie or a show, you might see it in here, and then that'll translate to whatever book I'm talking about. So I wanted to recommend some books that are very similar in like vibe or concepts or like themes or characters. I do have to forewarn, most of these are romance books because that's mainly what I read. But there is, you know, like some fantasy books, there's a thriller, so like there is quite a few genres. I can only recommend what I've read. If you like Outer Banks, then I highly recommend you read Good Girl Complex. I know Outer Banks just ended and everyone's like super sad about it. I personally watched the first, 3 seasons? I didn't watch the last season. I don't know what number that was, but that's because I don't have Netflix anymore. So anyways, this book is literally like verbatim like what this is. The plot is actually pretty similar, the romance anyways. Basically it's a rich girl, very similar to Miss Sarah, and a poor guy on an island, and it kind of mirrors that like Kooks and Pokes thing, and it's also very much like the stakes aren't as high as Outer Banks. It's a little bit like not cozy, but it's a little bit more just like, you know, the first episode of Outer Banks before like all the shit goes down, and it's just kind of like, oh, we're having fun with the characters, like this is fun, I like it, and it's just like all vibes. That's what this is essentially. But it is a romance, and I actually do like the characters in this. I think it does a good job at being complex while it is like a mainly centered around romance. So if you're looking for Outer Banks vibe or Outer Banks characters, this is the perfect little fit for you. Next, I'm going to talk about like my favorite romance book probably ever. And that's, if you like 13 Going on 30, which is also one of my favorite rom-coms, then you're going to love Better Than the Movies. I literally promise you, it's so much that like vibe of like, oh, like it's this romance that like didn't really happen when I was younger, and it's just like this neighborhood guy, and like I don't really know how I feel about him. Like he was like my friend, but we're not really close anymore. I doubt we'll ever date. Here we are. I will say that the vibe of it isn't like mirrored exactly, but the relationship feels very much like what that relationship was like, where it's like it's kind of playful, it's not all like formal dating, it's more like a cute sort of story like 13 on 30 is. Yeah, so that's why I recommend this one. And even if you like don't even know what 13 Going on 30 is, I cannot recommend this book enough. It is such a cute book. It's a sweet romance. There's no smut in it if you're worried about that. It's really sweet and I love it. The movies I'm talking about, I don't know if people like, if like the general population still watches these, but I know so many people who like their comfort series is The Princess Diaries. And if that's you, then the Selection series was made for you, because this is a YA dystopian series, and it's where it's kind of like the opposite almost, but it's like the same concepts as the Princess Diaries. So essentially 35 girls are picked to compete to marry the prince, and then they'll become a princess. And so essentially it is a romance series. It's basically like The Bachelor if it were like a dystopian YA series. The vibes of this series is literally crazy. Like there's so much going on. You're literally going to be on the edge of your seat all day long. It is such an amazing series. I read it for the first time I think in 8th grade, and I read it in 3 days. Literally read like, I think it was a 3-day weekend. I literally read like 1, 2, 3, like the entire days. Like it was literally so amazing. This series, I don't know what crack is cooked into it, but it is so good. There's so much going on. It's a mess. It's kind of a mess, I'm not gonna lie. And if you are one of those people who like, oh, I want the politics to be chef's kiss and I want it all to make sense, then this isn't for you. But if you just like the vibe of like the princess sort of thing, then you will like this. And if you like a messy romance, you will love this. Next, we're going to talk about a show that's literally had everyone in a chokehold for the past like 4 years, and that's Bridgerton. And if you like Bridgerton, I recommend that you read the Twisted series. Hear me out, hear me out. because I know it seems like an odd recommendation if you like have heard of the Twisted series before, but please just trust me. Just trust me. I know this is not a period piece, okay? It's not a period piece. It's modern day. So if you're looking for the vibes of Bridgerton, don't go with this. But if you're looking for the same, like, the Bridgerton build, you know what I'm saying, then go for this, because this is just as messy as Bridgerton, if not more. It's freaking scandalous. There's so much going on. It's every single book is a different couple, and they are all intertwined still. So you see like cameos of different characters in the next books. But no, it's literally amazing, and it's rich people. It's still rich people. So if you want the Bridgerton vibe, this isn't it. But if you want the Bridgerton structure, this is it for you, like, trust me. But basically, each one's a different person. Alex Volkov, who is a rich dude in the mafia or something like that. I don't remember if he's in the mafia, but I remember him being in the mafia. Then we have Twisted Games, which is a bodyguard and a princess. Then we have Twisted Hate, which is honestly the most out of place one in this series. It's a doctor and I don't know what she does, and then a girl. And then this one's an Instagram influencer and a CEO billionaire. So as you can see, there's a lot going on. But no, it's so messy, and there is like an overarching plot of like this like undercover group that's like really scary, and that sort of gives the same vibe as like, oh, mysterious Lady Whistledown. Like, there is the mystery element throughout these books, just like Bridgerton has. So Bridgerton, Twisted series, I hope I was able to convince you with that. But if you've read the Twisted series and you're like, that doesn't match up, I'm sorry, okay? I'm sorry. This was the best comparison I could think of. Next, we're going to talk about the greatest classic to come out of 2017, and that's The Greatest Showman. I don't even know what other movies came out in 2017. I just remember that this one did come out in 2017. But anyways, The Greatest Showman, which is literally like, it's such a good movie. It's such a good musical, and everybody liked to hate on it. Everybody liked to say like, oh, it's not actually that good. No, it was that good. And the little side plot romance in it, I'll never get over that. I remember, like, I was really young when this came out, right? So I remember finding out that freaking Zendaya and Zac Efron weren't actually together, and I was like, I think I cried. Shit, Tom Daya. If you liked The Greatest Showman, you will love Water for Elephants. It literally, the cover looks the same. Like, you can see that this is so similar. Anyways, Circus, this is definitely the vibe. This is the vibe. This is the vibe. However, the main character and the, like, side character are instead the romance. Instead of the romance being a subplot, it is the main plot, okay? So if you felt like, oh my god, I need to see more of this couple from The Greatest Showman, then trust me, you will find it in Water for Elephants, because that is what it is centered around. It's like, it's a messy romance too, because she's already with somebody else. It's like this whole thing. But no, it's this guy who he runs off and he joins the circus. And it is such a good book. I can't even describe. And it's not even just like, oh, it's a good messy little rom-com, whatever. No, this is literature. This is literature. And I remember, this book is so good. There's so many like quotable things that I remember. I was 10 pages in, and usually a book has to win me over, okay? But I was 10 pages in, and I think this made me cry because I read like something about like his wife, and it's such a good book. You just have to trust me. But yes, if you love that vibe, this is your book. Like, this is such a good book. Regardless of if you like The Greatest Showman, if you like anything circus-based, romance-based, please read this book. It is a classic that nobody talks about. So if you missed that, like Hunger Games, Divergent, whatever, if you like those movies, please read Legend. Legend is such a good series. It's 3 books. However, there is a 4th called Rebel, which is like a side plot thing that I really want to read, but I'm not ready yet. Anyways, 3 books, and it's more so like dystopian sci-fi sort of thing. Like, it's kind of like if you mixed Hunger Games with Ready Player One. You know what I'm talking about? And like mash them together, and you would have the Legend series. Like, this is so good. It's so good, and it centers around the romance, and it's dual point of view. Dual point of view. I tried to like spell out POV and say point of view at the same time. Anyways, the way that this world works is that when you're of a certain age, you take a test, and if you score really high, then you can get to these amazing jobs. If you score really low, then you can't do very much. And it's basically a very low scoring guy and a very high scoring girl. And it's coming of age, but it's also romance, but it's also sci-fi, but it's also like freaking dystopian. There's so much going on in this series and you will love it. If you like The Proposal for more than just Ryan Reynolds in his prime, then you will love Book Lovers by Emily Henry. Okay, I absolutely love the plot of The Proposal because I get so tired of like rom-com leads, like the women being like, oh, I'm just like wistful and like just so like small town and like I don't want to be in the spotlight, like I don't want that life. And what I loved about the girl from The Proposal is that she ran shit. She loved her work, she loved her job, she loved the city. And that is so what we find here. And they're colleagues. They're not just like two random people that meet each other by happenstance. Like they work together and they're not fans of each other. And then they come to an agreement. And that's literally what Book Lovers by Emily Henry is. It has had experience with all of the men in her life leaving her for these wistful small town heroines. And that's like what this centers around, is like she doesn't trust people anymore. And like there's also like this subplot with her sister, and it's just a really great book that I think is really like empowering to people who are like, well, I'm not like girls from books like that, like I'm not like the other girls, guys, I'm not like them. And they're like, well, I like these books, but I love working and I love the city. And me personally, I'm not a fan of small town romances. Like I'm just not, because I just feel like they're not, I don't feel like they're realistic. And so that's why I appreciate this book. If you love The Summer I Turned Pretty, but maybe you're wanting something a little bit more mature, something with a little more like substance, then you will love Happy Place by Emily Henry. I am not trying to hate on The Summer I Turned Pretty. I am simply saying that it is messy and it's not for everyone. So if you watch The Summer I Turned Pretty and you were like, ooh, this is almost something, you know what I mean? Like this is almost there, but like not quite. You'll love Happy Place by Emily Henry. Emily Henry's name is so hard for me to say. I don't know what's wrong. Literally, I feel like in every single video where I talk about her, I have to cut out like 50 seconds of me just trying to say her name. I'm like, Emily Henry. I just need to talk slower. This is still a summer beach house book. It is still a romance. It's a second chance romance though, which honestly, is The Summer I Turned Pretty? No, but it kind of is, because it's like they come back every year. Anyways, but these group of friends, they meet at this beach house every single summer, and this is their last year doing so. And they haven't done it in a while, right? And since then, the two main characters, the guy and the girl, they have broken up. And now they have to pretend that they're still together. Is it Wynn and Harriet? Yes! Oh my god, my memory is so good. Anyways, Wynn and Harriet have to pretend they're still together. You won't be the same. Like, you will be in a book slump after you read this because it's so good. But yeah, it still has that like summer vibe. And instead of like teenagers, it's like 20-somethings. So it will make you cry. It's a little bit more mature, but you'll love it, I promise. If you love To All the Boys I've Loved Before, either the movie or the book, you will love The Cheat Sheet by Sarah Adams. This book is so like, it's the vibes, you know what I'm saying? It's like soft aesthetic girl with jock boy, and she's like nervous and he's like trying to get her to open up and all these things, and they're like best friends. Well, this is a little bit different. This is friends to fake dating to lovers. Meanwhile, To All the Boys I Loved Before is like acquaintances to fake dating to lovers. So this is my favorite book by Sarah Adams. Everybody talks about When in Rome. No, because this is my Roman Empire. I'm so funny. That was a funny joke. Good job. Okay, if you love challengers, then you will love Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Now, not so much in the romance aspect of things, like if you're a dirty little and you only like challengers for the freaking, then you won't like it probably. You wanted to know more about Tashi and you wanted more of her like mindset and you wanted to learn more about her, then this is the book for you, because this book, well, obviously they're not the same people, duh, but it literally shows that same like mindset and how she was like, she grew up and like everything like that. And it reminded me, the characters reminded me of each other like so much. And I just want to preface, I don't care about tennis. I could not care less about tennis. However, I still found this book so entertaining. So trust me. Also, Taylor Jenkins Reid, the way she writes, so good. So you will like this book if you like challengers. If you liked About Time, then you will love The Midnight Library. I don't know if people still watch this movie anymore, but if you love this movie and you want to find something like kind of similar, then you'll like The Midnight Library. I will say it's more of a solo mission. It's not the rom-com side of things, but if you just found the time travel part of it really interesting, then I think you'll definitely like this. It's like a multiverse, multiple different lives, like what life could you have lived, and if you could go back, what would you change? And I really love that concept. I think it's really interesting. It's about this young woman who commits suicide, and once she wakes up, she's in this place called the Midnight Library where she can look through all the different lives that she could have lived. If you like Lady Bird, then you should read Normal People by Sally Rooney. Look at this book. Look how tiny this book is. If you're worried about like committing to a book, like just read this one then, because it's really not that much of a commitment. This book is so... what I like about it is like the vibe is the same. The characters and plot, not so much. It is coming of age still. This is more of a romance, but it's like a lighter romance, you know what I'm saying? It's a realistic romance. And that's what I liked about Lady Bird, is that it felt so realistic. There's something about it that's so like tragically normal. If you liked Gone Girl, then you will love The Girl on the Train. The titles are similar even. It's that same sort of thriller, mystery, way the minds work, and like when you reread, you're like, oh my god, I should have noticed this earlier. That part of this is so similar to Gone Girl in a way that's just like so like enthralling, in like a way that's so vivid, and it's such a good book, just based off vibes and kind of plot, but mainly vibes. If you like the rom-com that has everyone, including my boyfriend, in a chokehold right now, anyone but you, then you will love The Unhoneymooners. I'm not even joking. That is my boyfriend's favorite movie. Essentially, it's the same thing. Basically, it's literally the same thing. They're both on a vacation. However, in this, it's like, oh, we hate each other, but I guess we'll like pretend we're together because they want to go on this like honeymoon thing, because the actual engagement was called off. So they're just like going on this like all-inclusive honeymoon, and they're like, yeah, whatever. And it ties really nicely. Like the vibes are similar, the characters are similar, the wit is there. Last but not least, we have How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days and Funny You Should Ask. So the reason that I paired these two together is because it's the same sort of like girl's writing an article about the guy and she's like tricking him kind of, but it's like she's not, but she feels wrong about it, and it's this whole thing, and that sort of plot is so similar. Love at first sight and kind of second chance romance, if that makes sense. So that part of it is a little bit different, but it's really good. I promise. It is such a good book. I read it in one day. The cover is so pretty. Look at that cover. That is so aesthetically pleasing. All right, that concludes recommendations for the day. I hope you liked this video. I hope you maybe found a book you liked in it, a movie you liked in it, or maybe you completely disagree with me on every single comparison. Either way, I hope you have a good day. Bye.